Someone listening? Okay. Let me tell you the story of that guy. First you loved, then you promised. Was losing control. Crazy night, intense. Now, living my own life. Got you out of my path. Been wasting too much time. Gonna leave you far behind. You run away. Are you thinking of me when you took her? Does she know you were supposed to love me till you die? Almost kill me. Now, living my own life. Been wasting too much time. Gonna leave you far behind. Far behind, living my own life. Got you out of my mind. Been wasting too much time. Gonna leave you far behind.
Hello and welcome, everybody. As promised, we are back with the Progress webinar for Investment Challenge 2023. I'm your host for this Progress webinar, and this time I'm joining you from the beautiful Reply office in Berlin. Well, how quickly must I say the times pass? We were right here a few days ago with our warm up webinar, and we were talking about how you should register and some important tactics and strategies which you heard from our experts so that you can trade better. And now we are already 3 days into the challenge, and all the players have started playing. And I definitely think that this is the right time to meet once again with all of you. Of course, today in this webinar, we will use the time to discuss some of the important points, to remind you of the important deadlines as well, and to ultimately use this space also to answer your questions. So no matter where you are watching us from, whether you are a replier watching us on Chick Norris TV or you are joining us on YouTube, let me once again say welcome to all of you, and let's begin. Well, as usual, I am thankfully not alone today. With me today, we have wonderful, wonderful experts who will tell you more about in detail how the challenge goes and what you should keep in mind, and also ultimately answer your questions. I have so many wonderful people with me. Thank you so much for joining us today. I have Paolo, who is a frequent flyer, let me say, because he is the coach of the Titanium team, which basically builds the entire investment challenge. Hi, Paolo. Then we also have Bernardo and Georgia joining us from the Titanium team as well. Hello to both of you again. And then we also have other special guests. We have Alexandru and Marco joining us from Young Platform. As you all, now that you're already playing and hopefully followed the warm-up webinar, you know that this is the platform which is basically powering us this time. And then once again, we also have Giacomo, who is joining us and will share with you some of the market updates, joining us from Kryptonite today. So welcome to all the experts. Let me say thank you to all of you once more because you joined me here today, and do not leave me alone. And also because you are the experts who are here to share the most important information to everybody who is watching us today. So thanks once again. So, without much further ado, let's actually start with reminding all of you and recapping with you the main deadlines of this challenge and also the agenda for today's call. So we will have a little bit of brief overview just to remind you, hopefully you already know by now what the Reply Investment Challenge is all about. As you already saw, that we have multiple guests with us, so they will talk about specific topics of interest and the challenge itself. And then we will also have a market update, and we will also get into the nitty gritties. You know, what are those things which you should keep an eye out when you are playing the challenge. But please do not forget that you are here to also ask questions and clarify your doubts, because now you are moving towards the thick of the challenge, if I might say so. So use the spot to answer the questions, and we will try our best to relay them to our experts and hopefully get you some valuable answers from there. So as we move on, there are some important things which I want to remind you about. Of course, when we talk about the challenge deadlines. So before I even go into the deadline, let me reiterate that this time our motto is trade crypto and learn blockchain. So what we really have to focus on is definitely keep on learning and keep on learning the blockchain technology. So that's definitely our focus of the entire investment challenge. And we want to ensure that everybody who's playing with us today, they are sharpening their skills. This challenge ends on 19th May. So you already started 3 days ago, but this will end at 6 p.m. 19th May. It is completely online, and you are playing, hopefully you already know this now, but you're playing on challenges.reply.com, and you are trading 1 million of your pretend money. How exciting. Even when I say it, I'm wondering whether it would be more exciting to go back and start playing now. So 1 million of pretend money which you have to play the challenge, to trade, and to see if you are your strategies are at the end successful or not. Of course, as I mentioned before, we are here to learn. We want to ensure that you are focusing on your skills, but we always want to motivate you a little bit more. And one of the motivating factors are the prizes. So when we talk about the prizes, the first prize would be a MacBook Pro. So that would be for the first place. For the second place, we have iPad Air. And for the third place, we would have Apple AirPods Pro. So I hope that the combination of sharpening your skills, and as well as I think these prizes give you a little bit of a kick and then enable you to completely enjoy this challenge as you keep on learning. So those were some of the main, I would say, challenge related information and deadlines. Now, every time I host one of our challenges, which is true for all the challenges we host, I like to talk about the community, and I like to talk about how many people did we actually reach. So let's take a quick look. How many people did we reach? So now, thank you, control room. Those are my magicians, and they follow me much better than I can. So we had more than 7,000 registered people. Wow. I mean, these numbers, every time I look at them, they really leave me quite excited. And the second one, which is again and again, how many different countries we are reaching, because of course we want to promote learning, but with more than 100 countries, we also see that the opportunities which we are providing in terms of sharpening your skills is really widespread. So more than 100 countries have joined us this time for the Investment Challenge 2023. We had 64% students and 36% professionals, and the age group, so more than 40% of our people who are participating are between 18 to 25 age, and then 30% are around 25 to 34, and then the rest 29% is 35 plus. So as we move on, those were some of the top numbers which basically talk about our community and how many people we reach. But I've spoken for a long time, so it's time to give stage to our experts. And I would actually like to start with our frequent flyer, our coach, our Titanium team coach, Paolo. And Paolo, would you like to give a little bit of introduction and your top thoughts now that the players have actually started playing the challenge? Would you like to tell us a little bit more about what are the strategy, the tactics, the main points they should focus on, and then hopefully also take us through some of the important numbers, some of the important data that people are waiting to take a look at. So over to you, Paolo. Paolo, I would request you to unmute yourself so that we can all hear you.
As
Thank
usual.
you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. And as you said, I would say, as usual, in the introduction of the challenge, and every year it happens, there are some let's say running up things that we have to consider. This year, probably, we changed a lot the structure of the challenge, and so there might be different things we have to bear in mind. Just to start, this is not an investment challenge compared to the one we had last year or the year before. It's more a trading challenge. So the rhythm is completely different. The way we're building the portfolio is completely different. In the past years, we were used to structure a portfolio and not move it so much. This year, it's everything about trading. So we are expecting, and the numbers we have seen so far are confirming this, to see a bit of movement in the challenge, and this is actually happening. When we see the numbers, if we have the first numbers, we can see that the players that are participating in the challenge are actually doing that. The numbers are quite impressive in terms of counter value that are being invested and traded, and in terms of trading that have been placed in the market. Apart from that, I would say that we have seen some I would say problems due to limits that had not been placed in the orders, and this unfortunately led to some breakdown in the service. Unfortunately, this was unexpected, but I guess we had let's say the chance to take out the best of it. So what happened, it was that in the first day especially, we were looking at the market, and we have seen a lot of market orders placed by the different players. Probably some players were placing market orders because they were thinking they were not so expert probably, so they didn't have the clue on how to place the order. Other, I would say, more used to this kind of activity might have tried to take advantage from the situation. Unfortunately, in a very volatile market, as this is the case, this brought to a situation that was not the real market one. So we had to correct this trend. Starting from a few minutes ago, we broadcasted a message and let all the players know that we placed the limit of 20k euro on the market orders. So if you want to place a market order, doesn't matter it's a sell or buy order, this cannot exceed the 20,000 euros. Of course, no limits, no thresholds on the limit orders. This is to avoid, I would say, abnormal and unusual situation that might show up. Just to comment also one thing that I see in the comments, probably somebody who is not used to this kind of challenges might argue that a 2-week investment period is not so a long time to face a challenge like this. This year, I do not agree with this statement. While last year, when we were talking about investing, about building a portfolio, this for sure was true, and this for sure was a limit of the situation. And we tried to find out the way to accelerate, let's say, the volatility of the market. This year, having a trading challenge, 2 weeks is going to be more than enough to prove whether we are able to trade profitably or not. So this just to give some few returns to the players. I don't know if from the control room we can see some numbers. We can show the players what we have seen so far in the first 2 days, 2 days and a half of the challenge. Going to the next slide, please. We can see that we have more than 1.2 billion euros of counter value that had been traded. So it's quite a huge amount of money, given that the general trade was the average trade was of about 100,000 euros. There have been more than 15,000 orders placed in these 2.5 days, and as expected, the vast majority were placed on the 5 cryptocurrencies we can see here in the slide. So starting from Bitcoin, for sure. If we go to the next page, what we can see is that probably more than 1/3 of the orders, of the buy orders traded, were on Bitcoin, and then down the road we can see Ethereum and the other currencies, starting from Pax Gold and so on. On the sell side, the situation is roughly the same. Actually, this is going to be a good result. The fact that Bitcoin, of course, and then Ethereum are the 2, let's say, big coins in the room, it's known, but we can see that there was a lot of movement also in other smaller, let's say, currencies. So I'm very happy about that, because not all the people were concentrated on the two two bids. So this is just to give you the overview of the situation so far, but I'll give you the stage and move for the other comments, please.
Thank you so much, Paolo. Wow, already quite a lot of nuggets of wisdom, I would say, and also very much in detail. And I really hope, for the sake of the players, that they are tuning in and then taking sense of each of the words you are saying, because I do think that that definitely would help them while they are, let me say, playing this training investment challenge for sure, and can do better and improvise their strategy, of course. I would like to go further and go to a few more members of the Titanium team, because the more we know from them, the better it is, of course, for us. So I would like to go to Bernardo and just ask him, Bernardo, could you share a little bit with us about what is the algorithm behind and what is the game mechanism looks like behind the scenes in Investment Challenge 2023? So over to you, Bernardo.
Yeah, thank you, Ano. I asked the Regia to share the slides. Okay, so I will use the help of this slide to explain a little bit about the ranking. The ranking value is calculated taking into consideration 4 dimensions. The first one is the profit and loss, that is the gain or losses accrued by the players. So it shows how a player has managed his portfolio and traded successfully. The second one is the average trades, that are the average trades made daily during the players during the challenge. And a consistent amount of trades will for sure say that the player is always updated on market news, but a way too high number of trades will incur in a malus for the player. So this parameter has either bonus and malus. The third index is the diversification index. This shows a participant ability to diversify his portfolio by investing in different cryptocurrency. By respecting this index, not only you will get a bonus, but also you will reduce the risk and improve the stability of your portfolio. As before, as we said for the average trades, the diversification index has bonus and malus. The last parameter are the hints. We suggest you to keep updated to the platform to get the hints. The hints is just a bonus, not a malus, that you earn by investing on a cryptocurrency. But let's look on the right side of the slide to see how the bonus-malus logic is applied to the profit and loss. If you earn a profit, the bonus will increase your profit. Otherwise, if you earn a malus, the malus will decrease your profit. In case of a loss, the bonus will decrease your loss, and the malus, otherwise the malus, will increase your loss. So, summarizing, the single player ranking value is given by the profit and loss, the bonus malus on the average trades, plus the bonus or malus on the diversification index, and plus just the bonus for the hints. So, it's everything. The ranking is calculated in this way. I wish you good luck for the rest of the challenge, and have a good challenge.
Thank you so much, Bernardo. Again, another talk which really went into the depths, and I hope our players are taking these pointers super seriously. I would like to go to another team member, Georgia, of the Titanium team. And Georgia, I think one of the key things in this challenge is also the hints. And yesterday we already released our first hint. But could you explain a little bit more about the logic behind this and how does it actually impact on the rankings?
Yes, of course. So, as you say, the challenge started the 8th of May, and many cryptos were already available for the trader. Yesterday morning, the first hint was released, increasing by 2 the numbers of crypto available. So the hint is connected to a bonus that will be applied both on the profit or loss that you will register in case you decide to invest in the specific cryptocurrencies. But how does it work properly? So in every hint that you will receive during the entire time frame of the challenge, you have a start date and an end date. So you can decide to trade on the specific cryptocurrency that follow the hint. So for example, the first one was based on the proof of work. In case you decide to invest on one of the two that is based on the proof of work, you will receive a bonus. But this bonus is just applied to the position that are closed within the end of the time frame of that specific hint. So for example, for the first one that had been released, keep in mind that your bonus will be applied just in the position that you will close within today at midnight on the specific crypto that follow the proof of work. So remember that this was just the first one, but during the rest of the challenge, more hints are going to come.
Thank you so much, Georgia. We stay tuned for all the hints that you release as we go forward. And again, quite an interesting point also to pay attention to the time when you're playing this challenge. So super interesting point, super helpful. Thank you so much. I will come back to you, Bernardo and Georgia, to delve a little bit deeper about some things. But now I would like to go to Alexandro and Marco, who are basically joining us from a Young platform. And as I alluded in the beginning, that Young platform is powering our entire challenge, and this is the platform you're using to make all your trades. And we already heard quite a bit about it also in the warm-up webinar. I would like to start with you, Alexandro. Would you just tell us a general recap of the platform itself? I also know that there are two different versions which people can choose from. So what are the main differences there, and yeah, just the main functionalities of the platform?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Anu, for the introduction, and good afternoon, everyone. As anticipated, we are a Young platform, an Italian startup born back in 2080 from 5 high school mates back in 2070s. Right now, our position is being basically the Italian crypto exchange leader with over 2 million users all around the ecosystem. How we are positioning ourselves in the market and why we have joined this challenge. Because first of all, when we decided to found the platform, the company and the platform, the idea we have in mind basically was to help people understanding how the crypto market work, first of all. Because back in 2070s, this big bubble crash, and everyone was asking us basically how to deal with cryptos. For this reason, we have developed this ecosystem of products that start with educational tools. You can find also some references inside the exchange platform that is kind of an acquisition tool for the company, helping the user understanding the basic notion of the platform, of the crypto market and the platform. And then if they want to start investing, obviously they have the product. As you've mentioned, we have two different platforms, a basic one and a pro one. The one involved in this challenge, obviously, is the pro one. Our main focus, and it's due to the audience we are talking to, is basically on the basic platform, where everything is simple as buying, as clicking or tapping 3 buttons instead of thinking about how to use a limit order. But on the other side, we strongly believe that also pro platform is needed for the final user, because once in a time in your investment journey, definitely you need to understand how to use the advanced tool, let me say. In this case, the key difference of the platform, despite all the major competitors, is on the usability and the compliance of the platform, because we are basically the market standard, at least in Italy, for what concern regulation and compliance. And we have just externalized and internationalized our company in France, obtaining the license there. Related to the product, I've known that there were some problems due to the limit orders and stuff like that. I would say that this can be definitely a good knowledge for everyone, both for us and for the user. Why I'm saying that? Because this kind of slippage problem are used to seeing every day in the market, not just on small platforms like ours or even in big platforms during different volatility moments of the day. For instance, today we have the CPI. We are seeing a lot of rebalancing in terms of liquidity and depth of the order books all around the market. And it's something that also the final user, I would say, need to understand how to deal with, because probably a crypto investor that start with spot investment, it will end in looking for small caps. And small caps usually have a very, very low liquidity compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum, so the main cryptocurrency on the market. And with big position, starting from 1 million, obviously, it will become very, very hard to manage. Personally, I trade on decentralized product, and there this is the main problem, because you are dealing basically with at maximum 1 million, 2 million underlying liquidity, and an order of 10K, 15K can give you a slippage of a 15%. So happy to solve all the problem, obviously. I will let to Marco dig into the related problems.
Yeah, so we saw that there were many questions about how the platform works and how limited orders works and market orders. So I will start from what Stefan was saying, like regarding to the risk associated with dealing with the market orders, very large sum amounts of money. So what we thought of, like as Paula mentioned before, is we put a limit on the maximum market order amount you can place for. And this is to mitigate the slippage risk that we were talking about. Also, it is not advisable in a real scenario to put €1 million market order, because as Stefan said, it happens every time in also bigger exchanges that there is not enough liquidity to support such an order. So talking about the different type of orders you can place, on the simple platform, the base YAM platform, you can only place market orders because it is meant to be used by new users that don't really know how to deal with charts and the limit orders and all that. And on the Pro platform instead, you can have 3 different types of orders. The first one is still a market order, so you can just put like the amount of euros you want to spend, and you will get an order placed. The problem with the market orders, especially if the market is volatile, is that you're not guaranteed the price you will get your order matched at. So to solve that, there is the limit order. With the limit order, you can choose the price at which you want your order to be placed, and just wait for the market to go and match your order. So this is very important to know especially when you're dealing with a large amount of money. So from our Pro platform, when you are placing the order, you can see that you can choose the amount and the limit price, and your order will be placed. When the order is placed, you can see it in the open order sections. We saw already a lot of questions. The people try to place a limit order, and then they didn't realize that their money was not available anymore because it was still open in the limit order. So keep in mind that. And the last type of order is more advanced, is a stop order. So when you try to place a limit order, but you don't want it to be placed right now, you only want it to be placed when the market reaches a certain price, you can put a stop limit order, and that's how you handle the situation. So this is the main type of orders you can place. I saw also a question about the margin trading, and we don't provide a margin account. And in my opinion, even if it's a down market, you can still make the challenge worthwhile, because even in a down market, you can prove that your trading strategy works even when the market is going down. So considering that the challenge will be against all the other players, we will win the one that will make the less loss, in this case, if it's a down market. So
thank you so much, Marco. Thank you so much for taking us again quite a bit in detail, and how to also make the best of the situation. So thanks once again, both to Alexandro and Marco from YAM Platform, to taking us how you can perform or use the platform best to your advantage while you are trading. And since we're talking a lot about the market, it's only time that we hear a little bit also updates about the market itself. And here I would like to call on to another expert who is joining us. Giacomo, would you like to update everybody who has joined us a bit with how's the market going on?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's an investment challenge and also a trading challenge because its scope, it's just some weeks. But also in some weeks, you can, if you understand the structure of the market, of the crypto market, you can make money or also don't lose too much money. And the thing I want to talk about is right now, BTC is at 28K, something like that, and Ethereum almost 1.8K. And this wasn't the case like 2 months ago, right? At the start of the year, in January, we had BTC at like 15K, and everyone was screaming, right? Okay, the market is going down again, and I'm placing buy orders at 10K. And then in that moment, I was like, okay, so what's the consensus about the market right now? It's okay, we go down again. And what I like to do in the markets is to counter trade this consensus. There are some reasons. First of all, markets are made like that, and they tend to suppress the most obvious behavior that the biggest number of people expect. And so for me, it was obvious that the consensus was going down. So I was super long on Bitcoin and Ethereum in particular. And so, yeah, 2 months later, we are here. And just some weeks ago in the beginning of April, we had another chance to understand how the market, how the people think about the market. And as you already know, most likely, Ethereum had an important upgrade. The name of the upgrade was Chapeya. That is a mix of Shanghai and Capeya, and it was the second part of a bigger upgrade of the Ethereum roadmap that was started in September with the merge. And this second part of the update was meant to allow people to withdraw its staked ETH. As you probably know, people had staked ETH since November 2020, I think. That it was meant to validate and secure the network, right? It was not possible to withdraw it because it would have made the Ethereum less secure before it was enough secure to permit people to withdraw, right? And so with Shanghai, the narrative was like, okay, people are going to withdraw their ETH, and then they are going to sell it on the market and dump the price, right? And this again was the consensus. And I was thinking, okay, again, let's counter trade this. And in fact, once the withdrawals were enabled, the price of it went up. And it went from, I think, 1.6K to almost to more than 2K. And this in a matter of days. And also, the consensus was that the number of Ethereum of Ether staked would have been decreasing after the possibility to withdraw it. Instead, what it happened, it was the exactly opposite. And more people were like, okay, super good. Ethereum made up another huge upgrade. And so this is a really fundamental positive news. And so we want to stake it more right now. What I want to leave you with is the crypto market is very young compared to the traditional stocks and bonds market. And so it really suffers from the narratives that you see on Twitter or stuff like that. But market makers and who really moves the market is really aware of this, and it's going to exploit this. When you have a consensus really strong about something in crypto, remember that it's most likely that the result would be the opposite. So yeah, that's it. That's my take for the market today.
Thank you so much, Giacomo. All right, we have to move on and we bring back our Titanium team members. And I would like to go back to him. Does he have some suggestions for our players in the next days? So Paolo or Bernardo, whoever wants to take the lead and give our players some suggestions which they should focus on.
Okay, I let Bernardo go for this. Just remember one thing. As we said before, it might be a bear market, and bear market is a down market for everybody. But as we said before, you're in the same position with all other players. So no reasons to not to try to, let's say, to win the prize anyway. Apart from that, there are different strategies to limit the risks. I let Bernardo to talk about that.
Yeah, obviously the basic rule is to make profit, but at the same time you have to respect all the indicators that we said before. So to respect the average number of trade index, the diversification index, and finally the hints. When you invest, if you want to get bonus on the generated profit and loss, always keep in mind the minimum maximum number of trades, the market value in euro of your position, and the number of cryptocurrencies in the portfolio. If I have to make an example, a portfolio with 5 cryptocurrency with the same market value in euro allows you to have a diversification index of 80%. And this drops to 75% in the case of 4 cryptocurrency and 6% in case of 3 cryptocurrencies, and so on. Obviously, the market value will change, and so we recommend you to have more than 5 cryptocurrencies in your portfolio. To finish, I once again recommend to follow the hints, because the hints will give you just a bonus and they will increase your profits even more.
The hints, which is quite always an interesting topic. So I go back to you, Georgia, and I want to ask you, how are you already said some things about the hint which has been released and how does it impact the ranking? How are you planning to do as we go on? Do you have some tips there? And also, I am just wondering also for myself, are there really any good or bad cryptos? Is there a thing like that? So could you please elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, there are no good or bad cryptos. Here with the hint, the main purpose was just educational. So we would like to raise awareness on the digital asset and blockchain world. So we thought of giving bonuses to those who studies the various products as cryptocurrency, stablecoin, utility token, study a little bit more about consensus mechanisms, so proof of stake, proof of work. And so basically the bonus is just an award that we would like to give to those who decide to study at the best and decide to invest in those specific currencies.
Thank you so much. Well, the questions are pouring in. It's almost the right time where people start asking questions. So this is for you, Bernardo or Georgia, whoever wants to take it up. And I would try to read it as it is. How can I calculate my average diversification index in order to understand how to read the bonus-malus table linked to diversify index? Furthermore, they also ask what B and M2 stands for.
Yeah, I will answer that. The average, the diversification index is calculated as the reverse of the Airfinal index, and bonus-malus are assigned taking into consideration the average number of products that the player invests in each day during the challenge, that is evaluated at the market value of the investment. I will ask the Regia to share the slide in order to see the yeah, if you can see that, the second table, the average number of index, if the index is less than 45%, you will earn a malus of minus 10%. Moreover, from 45% to 62%, you will get minus 5%. And then you will, from now on, you will get a bonus, like from 70% to 75%, you will get 5% of bonus, and over 75%, you will get a 10% of bonus. And also bonus BM2 stands for bonus malus of the second index, that is the average diversification index. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Bernardo. I don't know if more of our end here we have our magicians, technicians already have Paolo on screen. Paolo, would you also like to comment on this as we move forward?
Yeah, sorry. There was a question about the diversification, but there are two questions in this one. The question was, does the diversification number of trades bonus reduce a potential loss? So we are talking about two things here: the diversification effect on the overall strategy and the bonus on the overall strategy. So the bonus can reduce the potential loss, and this is clear. I mean, in what Bernardo said. So even if you're losing money, you can get a bonus. Having a bonus while you're losing money means losing less money. Okay, this is the bonus effect when you're losing money. But generally speaking, the diversification is reducing the potential loss, and this is, I would say, a generally accepted statement in the market, because having a well-diversified portfolio is reducing the overall volatility of your position. Of course, if you are gambling, this is not going the right strategy, but we are not trying to gamble here. We're trying to understand how to properly invest and wisely invest. So if you're just putting all your eggs in the same basket and you're trying to bet everything on a currency, on a single currency, you might succeed, but you more probably are likely to lose money, especially in a highly volatile market, as this is the case. So diversification, generally speaking, is helping to reduce your overall volatility, even in a young market as the one of the cryptocurrencies, as we are talking about right now.
Thank you so much, Paolo, for that valuable feedback. Whoever asked that question, I hope you have two of our experts actually answered that question. So I hope you really take something from it. And as we move forward, the questions keep pouring in. This one is for the Young platform, hopefully for Marco. It's a short one. Is it possible to sell short?
No, it's not possible to sell short, as we are only a spot exchange, so you can only place buy and sell only what you have in your wallet. So there is no way to short or long positions.
All right, short and sweet answer to that short and sweet question, but we have a couple more. Well, this one is quite interesting. So I would say either the guys from Young platform or Paolo, you can take this. It starts with a feedback. So the person definitely hopes that we all appreciate their feedback, which makes me happy because they are all super engaged and we can feel the energy. But he says that if he or she says that if it is a trading challenge, I would argue that we do not have the appropriate tools. We don't have margin accounts. We cannot short. So I think it's quite related to what we were also talking a bit before.
Yeah, I let Marco to integrate this, or Stefan. But the point is that we would like to start. I mean, one of the purposes of the investment challenge is to trade, for sure. Is to learn something and to let's say understand the mechanism of the basics of the markets. So going long or short, using derivatives to do that, and having margin positions connected to this, it has two, I would say, two main drawbacks. The first one is that unfortunately, people that are not that aware of these mechanisms might not be able to use them. Of course, this is a challenge that involves everyone, but having people that are cut off by design from the challenge would have been probably a good solution. The second one is that you can, however, figure out how to build your own portfolio strategy and your trading strategy even without derivatives. Of course, that are shortcuts that allows you to I would say reach in a quicker way your final return, but there's no way not to replicate this mechanism without derivatives. I don't know, Marco or Stefan, if you want to intervene.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm aligned with you, Paolo. Let me say that also for the sum we have put at the disposal of the user, having derivatives or margin accounts probably won't be the correct choice for an educational challenge because I've played a lot with future in the real life, and most of the time, unfortunately, I've got burned. And this is because usually the market is really choppy, specifically in moments like that. And using 1 million euros to trade derivatives is definitely not educative, in my opinion, because once you get that kind of portfolio, it won't be the right choice to use derivatives. It will be definitely better having a controlled portfolio allocation based on spot position, and at least using a small percentage to play on derivatives. And usually we are talking about a 10% of the whole portfolio for derivatives. And on the other side, connecting also to the slides you have shown before related to the stats at the moment, I think someone have figured out how to handle also a correct investment strategy with the actual situation of the market. Apart from the spike we have on the first day that right now are mitigated, I've seen that a lot of people have used Pax Gold, that for an instance, compared to Bitcoin graph in the last 2 days, have basically the parallel graph. Obviously, with small percentage, because we are talking about a plus 0.74% or something like that. But definitely it's something that it's smart, I would say, in a situation like that.
Thank you so much, Stefano. Okay, so as we move on, well, it's only pretend money, but the emotions are running high among our players, so pretty much expected and also pretty engaging. So there are a couple of more questions, and I would leave it open to our experts who would like to take it on. One of the short, sweet and sour ones, I would say, is what is the difference between like investment and trading challenge and our investment challenge 2023? Where is it leaning towards? Is it more an investment challenge, or is it leaning towards being more of a trading? So I would leave it to our experts. Paolo, go.
Yeah, thank you. Let's say the challenge per se, it's called Investment Challenge 2023 this year. However, if we go and try to figure out the purpose of this challenge this year, is more a trading. Challenge. The difference, in my opinion, but this is nearly personal, when I'm talking about investing, I have a long-term horizon in my mind, okay? Medium and long-term. While when I'm trading, generally speaking, I'm thinking something in the short term. Okay, so this year, the investment challenge is mostly based on trading. And that's the reason why, while last year, for example, we were giving a malus when people were trading too much, were placing too many orders. This year, we are encouraging a certain amount, not too much, but a certain amount of orders per day. If I'm not mistaken, the limit is 40 trades per day if you want to get the bonus. So generally, I would say this is an investment challenge because it has the horizon of 2 weeks. So in the 2-week time frame, you will have to make your deal and try to outperform the other players. Doing that, how to do that is by trading. So you will do your day-by-day activity while having in mind a strategy that is focused on a 2-week time frame.
Definitely.
A bit philosophical explanation, maybe, but that's the reason why we call like that.
Yeah,
no, definitely super interesting. Yes, Stefan, please go ahead.
Probably I've used the wrong word before, but sorry for the notification. But what I want to pass, let me say, to our audience right now is that if I get into the challenge, I take into account all the details of my challenge. So first of all, the time frame. Second of all, the amount I have. Third of all, I will look also at the depth of the order book to understand which are the limits of the single platform. So this was my intention before saying using 1 million is definitely better in spot trading than in future trading. So just to clarify my point of that.
Well, definitely a bit of philosophy, a bit of strategy, a bit of planning, and a lot of pretend money, I would say. There is another question. So we are talking about pretend money, and some of our players are also wondering, then why are we saying that it is moving markets? I mean, shouldn't it really replicate the real pricing? So they are wondering, when we are talking about pretend money, why is it that important? So again, I will open it for our experts to comment on it.
Yeah, I'll take this one. So yeah, when we talk about pretend money, of course, our platform is following the real market, but not in the way that you're probably thinking about. If it was like a platform where you have the current market price and you can just buy and sell in a market order kind of way, then it will say the same. But what we try to achieve here is a simulation of the real market, like the order book is actually taken from the real market, but since it allows you to place limit order, buy, sell orders, it's a real order book simulating the real market. So it has a maximum depth of volume that it can handle. So this is why the market, even though it's following the real market, the order book is still moving because it's a simulation. So you can actually move it with your own trades. And that's what we try to mitigate after the first day.
All right. Thank you so much, Marco. We have a question, and as I come to know, it is from a replier. So probably for Bernardo or Georgia, do you trade throughout the day or do you have specific times?
Excuse me, can you repeat, please?
Of course. Do you trade throughout the day or do you have specific times?
Specific time in terms of ends, do you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
When exactly should they trade? The whole day, or is it some specific time periods they should focus upon?
Well, talking about hints, as I said before, we have a specific time frame. So in case you want to follow the suggestion that we gave to you, so for example, in the proof of work case, you need to be really careful about the fact that your position on that specific cryptocurrency needs to be closed in order for you to have the bonus applied. And the bonus will be applied on the profit that you have made, not overall for that entire day until that day, but just the profit that you have made on that specific cryptocurrency. And maybe I didn't say it before, but it is a fixed bonus. So when we're talking about diversification index and average trades, as Bernardo said before, we have like different classes of bonus and maluses. But talking about hints, you will gain just a fixed bonus on that profit that you will gain.
I add that players can trade 24 hours, so the market is always open, and they can place order wherever they want, whenever they want. So there is no specific time frame where they can sell or buy.
Perfect. Thank you, Bernardo, and thank you, Georgia, for that. Now, I do want to mention one thing, which was also specifically brought out in our warm-up webinar. The challenge is not ending on 19th. You are not decided as a winner or a loser on the 19th. After the challenge itself ends, the report is what plays the role. So I think, Paolo, also very specifically, you talked about it in the warm-up webinar, that it is quite important to also focus on the report itself after the challenge ends. So would you like to say a few words what people should focus upon, the players should focus upon when they are submitting their reports? Because as far as I understand, it can actually impact the leaderboard.
Yeah, thank you, Anu. Very important topic. As we mentioned in the very beginning, the first webinar, and we highlighted the challenge. It's not over when it's over in terms of trading, but it's going to require for the first in the ranking to produce a report where they are presenting the strategy they adopted. So I would like to encourage at least, I would say, the first 10 people in the leaderboard to think from now how to present their strategy, because this is going to be key to allow you to get to the podium. In the previous editions, what happened was that with the report, we were able to understand whether there was a clear and I would say thought strategy at the base of the activity, of the trading activity, or if it was just, I would say, luck. So this is going to be the case this year as well. So we are asking for the report, and again, as in the past years, this might shuffle the final leaderboard quite a bit. So please don't forget that, and please take your notes during all the days of the challenge in order to remember the reason why you made some moves instead of others, and why you did that. Because again, sorry, this is clear. This is going to be the key to succeed.
Thank you so much, Paolo. Right there with the key to succeed. And especially if you are in the top 10, I think you should really focus upon taking the notes, as Paolo said, and really explaining to our experts, why did you make a move? What was your thought process behind making that move? We have one more. We are almost at time, but the questions keep on pouring, because our experts, like, this is the moment of direct contact with our experts. So I guess this one would be for Marco. The question is, do we have an order book just for us, or is it of the Young Platform Exchange?
Yeah, so the order book is just for the reply challenge. So it's a simulated environment, and only the reply players are actually placing orders. And I also want to answer the second question, which is, I understand you want to give us real market conditions, but why are the spikes in price happening if the money is fake? So as I said, the real market is simulated on a simulated order book. So even though you're using pretend money, this money is actually affecting the order book, because it's a simulated order book with your €1 million, and when you place it on the order book, it actually takes liquidity from the order book. And then after, I won't go too much into details, but after a certain amount of time, it will refresh the real market data and update the simulated order book. So it's pretend money, but also it's a pretend order book that simulates the real market. So that's how it's happening. And as I said, it was only happening the first day of the challenge, and we already mitigated the issue. We actually had to increase the amount of liquidity that the real market from the real market data, so that it will handle more volume.
Thank you so much, Marco.
Yeah,
And
sorry,
if,
I would say this, let's
course.
say this issue was due to the fact that we didn't expect actually all the success of the challenge. So somehow it was a good news. However, we, as Marco said, we already fixed it.
Yeah, of course. The theme definitely being a little bit sweetness mixed with a little bit of sour. And as I said, even though it's pretend money, emotions are high as of now. If you are, this is to all the players, internal and external, if you are waiting for today's ranking, it will be out soon. It is not out soon. We are working very hard in the back end to have those rankings to you. So stay tuned on that. And since we were talking about leaderboard, I also want to mention once again our university leaderboard. So let me say thank you to all our experts, and let's go back. Thank you so much. Again, the control room reading my mind. If you have already entered your universities, this is another way to top that leaderboard, I would say. You can already see that 447 universities were enrolled. So Hochschule Hof, universities from C.V. Raman University, Technica University, Derby University, Padova University from Padova. So these are the top ones as of now. And if you are topping the university students league, then hopefully you will receive either an arcade for your community spaces, or you are going to get a financial donation as well. So as we are almost towards the end, I would say past the end time of our webinar, I do quickly want to remind you when the closing webinar would take place. So control room, if we could go to the closing webinar date, which as far as I know is on the 19th of May. Thank you so much. And this is a special one, everybody, because if you happen to find yourself in Milan, then you can actually join physically the closure webinar, and you have the registrations which will open very soon on Eventbrite, and you will also receive an email about it. So please, if you are in Milan, go to Polimi, the Graduate School of Management, who are also collaborating with us, and enjoy the closure of the webinar along with them. Let me also quickly mention about the chat on challenges.reply.com. So in case you want to reach out to our experts at any point of time, it is very simple. It is very easy. Just go to challenges.reply.com and use the chat function. It is not a real-time chat, but again, we will try our super very best to get back to you with clarifications on your questions and on your doubts. So with that, I would say to everyone, all internals, all externals, all the players who are moving towards the thick of the challenge, keep on learning, stay happy while doing it, stay curious, and keep on trading. See you in the closure webinar, everybody. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.